Hi, I'm Michael Zazen, the Parrot Wizard, and I'm visiting Santina, the green-winged macaw that I previously had, and now she's living with Lori in near Pittsburgh. And it's wonderful to see how well Santina's been getting by with Lori ever since. I've had Santina from the rescue from 2013 to 2016. During that time, I've done a lot of training and rehabilitation work with Santina, got her to be good at stepping up, targeting, and be more social with people. And since then, she's been with Lori, and Lori's been taking great care of Santina. She has this awesome stand that we built together when Santina moved here, and it's loaded with toys and great stuff. And it's great to get to see you again. How good you're looking. Wow, Santina, your feathers look so good. She definitely looks in really great shape. She was, not terrible, but her feathering was pretty ratty coming out of the rescue. She had a lot of bad-looking feathers, and I think by cleaning up the diet and getting her more exercise and activity and more sunlight, we're able to get that plumage a little bit improved. And happy to see that it's still continued improving, definitely not worse, and I think it looks better since. Santina's feet have been looking better too with some of those sores that she used to have. So I think having this kind of stand has helped her improve the condition of her feet as well. And I think that having a stand like this is just really one of the best ways to keep a macaw if possible. Because their wings are so big and their tail's so big, this is way, way, way more space than any cage could possibly provide. Even a huge cage, even an aviary. The problem is that the perching is limited, so they don't have so many places to walk and they drag their tail on the bars. So in this case, Santina can walk around and keep her tail clear of everything. And the other thing is that this stand, instead of being firm and bolted to the ground or standing up, this stand is all hanging in it. It's always moving. So Santina has to use her muscles to balance, kind of like downhill skiing or biking, where you use a lot of muscles to balance, and that's a little bit of exercise all day long, and it's more natural because the trees sway in the wild. And this is not fixed like a perch in the cage, but all swinging. So really thrilled that Lori's been able to provide her such a fantastic environment. You can see all the progress that Santina made while she was in my care at parrotwizard.com/videos. Click the Santina button and you can see all of her previous videos and her history all the way from coming home from the rescue, working with her, teaching her to step up. You can see that nasty few bites that I got from her at the rescue, but not any since we began the training. You can see how I taught her to go into a carrier, and even there's a DVD about Santina learning to wear an aviator harness, and being something like 14, 15 years old, and shows that you really can teach an old bird new tricks. So you can browse that complete collection of those videos at parrotwizard.com/videos. But in the meantime, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about what it's like taking care of a big macaw like this and some of the things involved. Of course, not everyone is able to provide them with an awesome hanging stand like this, but a very, very large cage is still necessary. You can't put such a big bird in a small cage. They need space. Her wingspan and her tail are just enormous. So just for that bird to be able to stand with wings out and tail out, probably a good 3x3 by 3 foot bubble that they need just to be able to stand without touching the walls. And then of course you need room for perches and for toys. And look at these great toys that Santina has to keep her busy and occupied, keep that beak busy. Now when you have a big bird, you've got also big expenses and big mess. So Lori's got these big trays down here at the bottom to catch the mess. And just one day's worth of a mess can be quite a bit when you have such a big bird. So you got to realize that a big bird comes with some of those big responsibilities that you got to be ready for. Furthermore, big bird means really big bite. And here's a link to a video where I got one from Santina, and not something I really want to have again. Now in that situation, she was kind of forced on my arm unexpectedly. I think that if I were handling things, it would be a little bit different and I wouldn't be asking for a bite. But she was just kind of put onto my hand unexpectedly. I didn't realize that was going to happen. She didn't realize it was going to happen. And not a great situation. So instead, it's much more important to be patient, take your time, let the bird get used to you, and use positive reinforcement training to get that bird to be more comfortable with being touched, handled, stepping up, etc. So we're gonna get some treats out and do a little bit of work with Santina. It's been quite a while. I think she recognizes me, but at the same time, I think she's getting a little bit defensive of her lovely new owner, Lori, and her space. So we're gonna make sure that we're introducing things on a good note. When Lori got Santina, we prepared this book for her with all the information about Santina that we know to help her get started. And this is so great because we can look back on some of the things that Santina was like before and see what things are still the same and what have changed. It has things about like her favorite songs, things she's afraid of, things that get her screaming, some training notes, things that she's familiar with, what treats she likes. And for the first year or more, Santina and Lori have been keeping notes every day about her weight, what food she likes, what kind of things she's been learning. So keeping notes like that has really helped Lori and Santina, focus on what works versus what doesn't and establish a good, healthy routine. So that's a really, really great way when adopting a parrot to keep notes, keep information down, and objectively get to know about it, and also be able to reflect back and think about how things were in the past. Now, target training is a fantastic way to teach a parrot to come or follow or go where you need it to go, especially when you're a little bit worried about your hands or your parrot's worried about your hands. You can target the parrot to get them to go places, whether it's to get on a stand, come out of the cage, come into the cage, go on a scale. Teach them their routine by having them follow the target until they can just follow the routine and you don't even need it anymore. So in this case right here, we've got a Parrot Wizard clicker and target stick, and Santina is used to doing these from when I was training her, and then Lori's continued the training so that she'll be able to follow. Alright, Santina target. Good, look at that red pepper, it's so red, just like you! Whoa, look at that, it's the same color as you are. That's gotta be tasty, huh? I eat food that looks like you. Is that how you keep your feathers so red? Yummy. So targeting is great because if you need the bird to move to the other side of the cage or to some more distant place, you can get them to follow and go where you need them to go. Santina, come here and target. Good, here we go, ready to get a nut. Oh, that's a nice big nut for big Macaw. That's a Brazil nut. Comes from Brazil, kind of where Greenwood macaws come from, huh? Ooh, that looks yummy. You probably noticed that this room is very brightly lit, more so than usual. It's got a big LED lamp at the top, kind of disproportionate for a room this size. And that's because parrots tend to need quite bright lighting to be able to see well. And they can also see in UV. That's why it's really important to get those windows open and let the sunlight in. We have that closed right now just so that it doesn't backlight the video, but letting the sunshine in and keeping the room bright is very important. I don't really like seeing parrots in a dull living room, like the old classic living room where there's like no lights, just one or two lamps. That's just way too dull, and the birds can't see all the colors and brightness of their foods and their feathers like they normally would under bright sunlight. So be sure to keep things well lit for your parrot. From the very beginning, Lori's been keeping track of Santina's weight using the NU Perch Scale over here, and she writes down the weight in the book every single day and compares to what foods she's been feeding to make sure that Santina's not losing any weight, that she's healthy, that she's not overweight, not underweight, but just that the healthy weight is determined by the avian veterinarian. And it's a great way to make sure that the bird is healthy and in shape, and to see and learn about the bird body changes over time. It's been a pleasure to get to visit Lori and Santina again and see how wonderful they are doing. Santina continuing her progress. It's an ongoing progress. She learned a lot under my care, but Lori's continued teaching her new things. For example, Lori taught her to take these cups and take her own food out of the cups. You want a cup? She taught her to take a cup of food and eat out of a cup. So there's always, the sky's the limit. There's no end to the training and the relationship building and cool and exciting things you can do with parrots. You can learn my complete approach to parrot care from the Parrot Wizard's Guide to Well-Behaved Parrots. You can also watch all of Santina's videos from the day I got her to giving her to Lori, and even some visits since, including this one, parrotwizard.com/videos, and click the Santina button. You can also continue to follow Santina and Lori's day-to-day adventures by following Silly Bird Brain on Instagram. That's Lori's account, and she continues to post about their awesome adventures with Santina. And plenty more Parrot Wizard videos coming to parrotwizard.com/videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.